I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kate. Did you need me to pull up the PowerPoint or you got it?
Either one of us.
Okay.
Fine. And then Zaisha's gonna actually start us off
Oh,
tonight.
nice. Seisha's doing product. Love it. Okay. Go ahead, Kate, since you're doing the biz portion too. I gave you.
Okay, give me 1 second. I have a lot of tabs open. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. All right. I'm going to introduce Zaisha, one of our new silvers on our team, silver leaders. Take it away, Zaish.
Okay, I just lost my page in my book, but that's okay. Everyone should be familiar with digestin, but if you're not, it is our digestive blend. And tonight I'm just gonna share what I do because this is one of my favorite oils. Like how Kate loves Serenity, digestin is my number one. So after I had kids, I got this acid reflux now, and I always get it. It gives me these super sore stomach cramps. Almost feels like you're in labor and you're puking your guts out. I've been to the ER for it, and they can't tell me what it is. But ever since I've been using digestin, I haven't had it in a while. So the way I use digestin is whenever I'm feeling bloated or I ate a heavy meal, I'll put digestin right in my pico or I'll massage it on my belly. But what I really love to do is make a hot cup of water and add a drop to it and just smell it and drink it like tea. Just plain water and a drop of digestin. So I recommend that to anyone who is having any stomach issues. I also love the capsules now, but I love the smell of digestin, so that's why I like to drink it. But if you don't like the smell, the capsules is a great way to help you with that stomach issues. Another testimony I have is one day me and my son was downtown and we went to KFC. I don't know if the chicken was raw or we got really, really sick. Well, I did, and I couldn't drive home, and I felt really car sick to where you just want to close your eyes and you don't even want to drive. But I had to drive because I couldn't tell him to drive. He's only 8. So I only had Motivate at hand. But I remember that what are those? We have these little zipper pouches that we put samples in for people who host classes. But I had one and I filled it up with my top 10 oils for whenever we're traveling. And I remember I had one. So I whipped that digestin out and I rubbed it on and I was great. I could drive back up the hill. So digestin is a saver. I'm also not a drinker, but I just tried the lavender Ola drink and I was loving it because I was like, ooh, lavender. But I got really sick after. I don't think my stomach sits well with that acid. And we were in Lahaina at a hotel and digestion saved me again. And then this past week, couple weeks ago, I tried the new Crown with Coca-Cola and it gave me diarrhea. But digestin to the rescue again. So digestin is not only to help your stomach digest and get moving, it's also to help when you have the opposite, when you need the opposite effect. So that's a good one to remember. And then another friend of mine who was new to oils put like 10 drops of digestin in her diffuser. Her sister came over and then her sister had to use the bathroom. And when she came out, she said, I never had the best shit in my life. So, for some people, it'll get them moving. For some, it'll just, help with that stomach issues. But I'm just here to remind you all to reach for that digestin when you need it. Okay, that's my education for tonight.
I love it, Zaisha. I love that you are being so real. It's what Auntie Bernice just said. Yes, yes, yes. And I never really thought about, it going both ways, supporting your digestion system both of the ways you mentioned. And yes, Jen, she had me at the same word. So yes, and I never even thought of diffusing. I have diffused it a few times, but to support in that way, only when my kids have gotten really sick with throw up that I have used it in the diffuser. So thank you for all those tips and tricks that we would not read in a book. So I appreciate that. All right, we're going to keep moving forward with our call tonight. We were tasked tonight on sharing some about leadership because we had 3 of our Kanoe Wellness team leaders go to Phoenix, and we had the best time just learning, connecting, and being inspired. And so tonight we're going to share one of our talks. But before we jump right into that talk, I just wanted to do a little shout out for this Empowered Success podcast. I know we've talked about listening to these before, but for me, this is my perfect way to get short little bursts of education, inspiration on the daily. I listen to these as I get ready. In the morning, I'm doing my hair, get my makeup on. I've got 10, 15 minutes, and I love these. So yesterday, this one popped up. It's a little bit longer, but it's something, if you went or if you didn't go, I recommend everyone on our call listen to. Leadership this year was something special. It was up-leveled from the past. So it's about an hour podcast. And if you're like me, you know how to fast forward or go back if you want to move forward to the next part. But it's definitely worth your time. You're going to get all the highlights. It starts off with Emily and Corey talking about our vision and mission. It then recaps the main points from a bunch of the leadership talks. And so I definitely love that. I love a summary. I love a Cliff Notes because we're all busy and we don't have time to watch or listen to everything. So please, please, please give it a go so you can be just kind of be in the know. And it wraps up with the Gather and Give promo that's so special for us right now. And I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So as I was listening to this one and also recapping the virtual sessions, because they're available till the 15th, which is not much longer, I stumbled across 2 that I thought would be worthy of our time tonight. And I landed on one that is by Rena Day. It's about 13 minutes. And so in just a second, we're going to pop it up there for us to listen to. And as we're listening, I just want you to think about your approach to inviting people to classes, because we've been stuck in this rut of Zooms and Zoom invites. We've kind of gotten out of the habit of having people be invited to in-person classes. So I thought this might be a great one for us to help shift our mind to getting people in person again. So the topic of this call is successful in-person classes. And she gives some great tips on how to invite and how to connect with people to get them to your classes and get them interested and having successful experience with their oils. So be ready to take some notes and some screenshots on some of her tips. So I'm going to exit this screen. Sorry, sometimes I'm not the best with sharing screens. Let me find where my other one is. I had it paused on the spot. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to reshare. As I get it going, please let me know if the volume is just right. Okay, so here we go. And Rena Day is a platinum leader.
Wow, wow. I kind of can't believe that I am standing here right now. This time last year, I was sitting in Jessica Moultrie's living room watching leadership for the first time and not really completely knowing what I was stepping into, but knowing that I had an amazing person to lead me. And if you were here in this morning session and you got to hear Jessica speak, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She is truly an amazing person and leader. And if you weren't here in that session, you should go watch her speech. It is authentically her. And that is exactly how she lives her life. So I'm truly honored to be a part of that. But here I am. This is my wonderful family. My husband of almost 20 years and the most supportive person in my life. Our 3 kids, and my mom is actually also in this picture. My super support team. And as I kind of talk about how I'm getting people to classes, my family is such a huge part of that. So I kind of wanted just to introduce you guys a little bit to my family. As it's been about a year since I've been selling doTERRA, and when they asked me to speak on this, at first I was like, well, what am I going to talk about, or how do I put that into words? And talking with Jessica some, she was like, you love people. And I'm a super relational person, and I absolutely show up for people in a relational way. So in-person classes is all I've ever done. And even through living in Oregon in the middle of the pandemic, in person is all we have done. So I'm going to kind of give you some tips and ways that I was able to make in-person classes work, even when a lot of people weren't in person. So the 4 things that I have really boiled down to what I did is, first of all, love on people. Share, invite, unite. So love, share, invite, unite are the 4 areas that I really focused on building an in-person business. So the first one is love. So true connections are key. Some people, you guys might not have been out for the last few years and everything's starting to open up again. So it's a little bit different. But when I was in this stage, I was like, how am I going to connect with people? And so even through all this time, everybody was out doing something. So I just took doTERRA and layered it into my life. So I would be at the kids' sporting practices, or I would go to the gym, or the kids' school, or my husband's work. Whatever I went out of the house for, I showed up in those moments. I was intentional building relationships with people in those times. So instead of just sitting at practice or at a game or whatever I was at, I would specifically sit next to somebody and have a conversation with them. And what's really important right now is everybody has missed connections. Everybody has missed time together, and people just want to feel loved. And that's what this first step and why it makes it so important is because you show up for people, you're authentic and you're true into what you're saying to them and asking about them, they will respond to you. So be authentic, ask questions, get to know people in the space you already are. You're already there at that event. Whatever brought you there, you're there. And love on people, be genuine with people. The next thing is share, give people experiences. I always have my bag that has my personal oils in it, but it also has samples if I want to give them out. But the first or last year when I listened to leadership, somebody spoke and they said, your home is your doTERRA showcase. And I was like, okay, I can run with that. And I turned my home into a doTERRA showcase. But then when you leave the house, you are their showcase. You are doTERRA showcase. And so I always have oils on me and I'm always using them. I'm proud of working for doTERRA. I don't shy away from telling people as I'm connecting with them that I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate. And I'm also not afraid to use them. And then this is kind of where my story started. So it was my daughter Lainey's basketball team. And we were traveling because we had to travel out of Oregon to play any sports. And for practices, we had to sanitize all the basketballs. And we were using Clorox wipes, which I mean, don't get me started on Clorox wipes. I feel like I could do a whole talk on those. But I was like, can we please try something else? And so they let me make up On Guard concentrate bottles, and I gave one to each team, to each parent, and sprayed the balls down. So I gave people an experience without giving them something or saying, hey, try this. And that's where it started. And then we had the love and the relationship, and we were talking, and, oh, what do you do? And I sell essential oils, and, oh, okay, that's cool. And just started the conversation naturally. And my daughter would come up to me and say, hey, Mom, my stomach hurts. I need digestion. I'm super anxious for this game. Can I get adaptive? And so I would give it to her. Then her friends started coming up and saying, hey, Rena, my knee hurts. I need some Deep Blue. And it just slowly started this thing where she really helped develop that, like, hey, let me have this. Hey, let me have that. Then the girls, then the parents started asking, what are you giving my daughter? And it just started this natural conversation. And then at this point, they've had an experience. Either they've been given an experience or their child has been given an experience. And so at that point, you're kind of ready to give them an invitation, and it should be customized. You have these people that are now warm market people that weren't. So a lot of people are like, I've gone through my warm market. Now what? Turn more people into your warm market. Show up for people authentically and make the invitation personal to them. So, for example, my daughter's one of her good friends that she had just developed a relationship with because we were brand new on the team. I said, hey, Jen, well, I'll give you 2 examples of inviting someone to a class. Hey, Jen, I have an oil class on Sunday. Do you want to come? Or as I've just spent time loving on them and sharing with them, I can say, hey, Jen, I'm doing an oil class on Sunday, and I know you've been struggling with sleep and Ava with anxiety. I'm going to talk about both of those things. Can you guys make it? And I've just offered them almost too good of an invitation to say no to. And so that's a key thing. Make the invitation so good they almost can't say no. And I'm going to play that out. Let's say they say no. The first question I ask is, are you interested? If they say no, that's okay. Not everybody is interested and ready in that moment, and that's okay. With you living out your life with doTERRA, eventually I would say they come around. If they say, yes, yeah, I'm interested, I just can't make it, I go to just 2 options: another class time, and then I offer, how about we do it during the girls' practice? How about we get together for coffee after the gym? How about if you're at the dog park, we just talk about it while the dogs are playing? Wherever you both are, wherever you guys have showed up to be together, make it so easy for them. And so really customizing the invitation and making it so hard for them to say no that it's most likely going to be a yes. And so with that, with my daughter's basketball team, we did a class. We invited the team. We also did a little something for the girls. So you could customize that, not in a sports team. You could do it with a book club. I mean, it doesn't have to be a sports team. That just happens to be my life. But we did a 101 class. So all the girls and parents understood what essential oils were and how to use them. And then we did build a keychain. And so all of the girls got to build a keychain and put essential oils in it. They clipped it on their basketball bag. And what started to happen is they started sharing. And so there's 5 teams in our organization. And pretty soon the other teams were asking, like, hey, Lainey, what's that on your bag? Hey, Ava, can I get some of that? And at this point now, it's been a whole year. We have done 4 out of the 5 team classes with their parents and their kids, and helped build an oil community, and not just in the one team, in the one atmosphere that I'm in. It expanded to the whole. And that's kind of the power of living out a doTERRA lifestyle. You're living it out. Your kids are living it out. Your community that was small, and the small team of 8 turned into an organization of 60. So the next thing is unite. So now you've got them, they came to the class. You've really connected with them. You've loved on them. You shared with them. They've came to a class. The next thing is unite. this is where your community begins. And this is just as important. So many people have spoke today about wellness consults. The class, I put a high priority on a wellness consult. It is so important because in there you get to dive into how they want to learn, what's important to them, what do they need in their life, swap where they shop. Such a wonderful thing. And so this is also where you're going to, do you want continuing education classes? Do you want text messages? Do you want emails? How do you want to be communicated with so that you don't get these oils and then just shove them in a drawer? Because that's the last thing that we want. And so, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Ask them how they want to be communicated with, and really meet them at their place and show them the wonderful community that you have built, because that's what's going to keep lifelong customers. Okay, so to recap our takeaways, this isn't a checklist of, if I do this, people are going to show up to class. This should be a way of life. If this is doTERRA's heart, is loving on people, it's healing our world. So if we're showing up in the very first step of loving on people, everything else comes so naturally. Everything else, you're living a doTERRA lifestyle. And if you're truly loving on people, it becomes authentic, it becomes natural, and people want what you have. So recap, love. Put yourself in places that you're going to interact with people, build those relationships, be authentic, share, always have samples, always have product with you. You are your doTERRA showcase as soon as you leave the house, and give experiences. I mean, I don't know how many times boys or girls sports teams or at the gym, someone gets hurt. I'm like, hey, I've got some Deep Blue. And then it's a whole conversation about that. Like, be quick to give an experience. Invite. Customize your invitation to each person. I find that people, especially right now, people don't feel heard. And if you say to them, hey, I heard you say you're not sleeping. Like, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I have something I think that can help you. It's so valuable to people. And then unite. Connect them to your community. Let them feel the support that you have around you. Get them excited about their oils. And then always don't forget to ask for them to host classes, to build a business. That's not really my topic, so I'm not going to dive into that. But of course, that's a huge piece of your whole business. But if you've done the other things, then they're showing up, they're excited, they're going to love their oils, and pretty soon it's going to be super natural for them to be hosting or building with you. So at the end, the last thing I hope, if you kind of take away for anything, is that when you meet new people, they will be meeting doTERRA as well. Live a doTERRA lifestyle, and doTERRA at its heart is loving people. Thank you so much. There might be something.
All right. I really hope you enjoyed that. There were so many takeaways. I definitely see some comments in the chat about the call. Does anyone want to unmute and just share something that they really appreciated or liked or connected with that you heard?
I just thought it was a good reminder to always make sure I have samples, because I'm not great about that. Like, I have my oils I use all the time, and sometimes I end up like giving somebody my roller because it's like, I want them to experience it right then, but I don't have all my little things. So that I need to definitely get better with.
Me too. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, just going off of what Amanda says, and I feel like getting to where I am in this business, there's this misconception that like you do all of the things well, and like I don't do a lot of these things well. And right now I'm in a little bit of an enrollment slump for myself, and really thinking about how I am going to make a plan to move forward and get new contacts. And I feel like her examples were just, I saw her live at Leadership, but it was a good reconnection, like how simple her reminders are, but how powerful. Like we are, like when we meet people, they need to be meeting doTERRA, and how much I hold myself back from doing that. And one of the things is samples. Like I can't tell you how many times it's been like walking down the street with Kanani the other day at Leadership. Like somebody literally asked for a sample on the street because we had doTERRA bags on, and she's like, "What is that?" "Oh, I love essential oils." And we didn't have anything right on us, you know? So just, I love how she wrapped it up with the thing about just loving on people, but really truly, like, how much do we hold ourselves back from really putting it out there with anyone and everyone and being unapologetic and not afraid to do it, you know? Just real quick, because Cami asked, what is a keychain class? From what I gathered, it was just an opportunity to get, in this case, teenagers together, and they all made keychains for their backpacks. But I would imagine that if I were to do this, it would be educating while we were doing that, right? So whatever oils they're putting into their backpack, or I'm sorry, into their keychain, that we would be teaching them about how exactly to utilize that. So I actually love that as a class, even for like our customers, and kind of tying it into like, you know, oils you always want on hand. Because there's a few I don't use all the time, but like Purify, Helichrysum, like those are always in my pouch. And now, what was the other one, Amanda, that we just learned about from Judy that we need to have on us? Was it Spikenard? I know she said Spikenard was like a driver, but I swear there was another oil. Anyway,
Can't remember.
the boss, Spikenard, the boss. Anyway, yeah. So just there was a lot of things that I need to do better, and she gave some real practical ways to do that.
Awesome. Anyone else want to share something?
I wanted to say something really quick. Thanks for sharing that video because I didn't get to see it. So it was really, really, I mean, just eye-opening, looking at things from just a different view. Because I think I'm very strategic and sometimes I forget about the emotional side of things. So that was really nice as a reminder. But getting back to the samples, it's funny because since Liza and I had that experience in Arizona of not having any samples on us, which is crazy, I make sure I carry at least deep blue samples. So my son is really, well, he's better now, but he was really, really sick. And so I took him into Kaiser to run some labs, and the phlebotomist that came in looked at me and she goes, "I know you." And I go, "Oh, really?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think you are the doTERRA girl that lived across the street from my niece." I was like, "Oh, yay, hi." And so anyway, she was like, "I love doTERRA, I order from her, blah, blah, blah." And I whipped out a deep blue sample. And she goes, "Well, I love ordering from my niece, but I'm going to give this to my friend." And she passed it to the other phlebotomist. And I always staple my business card. Well, not always, I just started doing it. Staple my business card to it. I didn't get any information back because I was kind of like, holy smokes, I love that. I'm the doTERRA girl in the neighborhood. Thank you very much. That was flattering. I was very excited. And then, so after that, the day was just whatever. It was really bad with my son sick. But then I went to Target to run and go get some Pedialyte popsicles. And then I saw my sister's best friend and she gave me a hug and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you smell so good. What are you wearing?" And I was like, "A lot of adaptive. It's been a day." So it's just like, I feel like we are, when she said that, like we are doTERRA, like we are the product. I'm like, good job, honey. Thank you. It was just like, that was the reminder because I was having such a day today, but you know, doing all the things, we're like the sample when they get to smell adaptive. Thank you.
Totally.
And Cody is in the back asking for another ginger draft. Oh my God, you can't even make that stuff up.
He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Hi, Cody boy. Um, it's funny too that you're saying that about today, because I got a phone call from Ray because she was flying back to Phoenix with her family today, and she flew to Honolulu first, and she spoke to two people on the plane, and she is probably going to enroll one because this woman had really bad eczema. And so they were going on and on about gut health. And Ray had her rose oil on her and her, like her trifold with her information and kind of some of the kits. So she was going through all our different, the Healthy Habits kits that comes with the LLV and our gut health Terrazyme and PB Assist. And so she was giving this mini class, which then caught someone else's attention on the plane from Texas that she's going to sell some On Guard products too. So I think that is kind of a big reminder to us all. As soon as we walk out of the house, we are the doTERRA showcase. We move it from our home to ourselves. So yes, if you don't have something in your bag that you can share, then that's definitely something you're going to want to jump into. And then one big thing too that I think for me was just an even bigger picture idea is that these in-person events we're having now, they are going to change your business. Any event you have around doTERRA, this call, our lifestyle overview tomorrow night, anything that you have with your team, small or big, leadership convention, every single event is going to bring you closer to your community and closer to our vision and mission of this company. So come to events, come show up, because if you do, you're going to keep moving forward. All right, Liza, that's what we've got for tonight for our team sharing about leadership. Would you like me to share the slides again?
Yeah, if you don't mind, since you
I
already
can.
have it up. And then if anybody's having any issues with their video, let me know. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but all right.
There we are.
I love that was leadership. And you guys, we're not talking too much about it, but May 12th or something, convention tickets come out. And if you're at all thinking about going, I just encourage you to just snag a ticket and kind of set that intention for September. In-person events truly are magical, exhilarating. I know it sounds super cheesy, but life-changing. Convention is really life-changing. So I really hope that you guys consider coming. So, all right, let's keep on keeping on. So just some team reminders, and actually moving right into events. I really, really want to give a plug for this Visionary Leaders Launch Day workshop. Now, I got to tell you guys that Erin Puget, our like up Blue Diamond leader, as well as another diamond, I think on her team, Diane Del Rey's, launched this event. And I kind of reached out and or actually, I think she asked me, like, would you be willing to talk? And I was like, sure. And then I kind of ended up where I'm like on the planning committee with them. But I'm really excited because this has been a missing piece for all of us, for me, for the team, like a systematic way to help launch builders. And so this is something that they want to offer every month, once a month, which is really cool because that means that if you're launching builders every month or whenever you are, every month this training will be available to plug them into. So the first one is going to be on Sunday, April 24th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. If somebody could grab the link from the WhatsApp group or the business, I know I posted it everywhere a couple of times, just pop it into the chat. That would be awesome. It's totally free and it's action packed. And I want to emphasize that because it's not like a come and sit and listen. Yes, you're going to hear, if any of you guys decide to come, you're going to probably hear things that you've heard already, but we're also going to be infusing time into this launch day workshop to do the work. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into our whys, but actually not talk about why the why is important, but actually take time to write our whys and revisit our whys. We're going to talk about time blocking, but we're also going to task everyone with time blocking. We are going to talk about inviting, but we're also going to practice inviting. And then for me personally, where the biggest focus is going to be is finding business partners. So we are literally going to look at Bailey King's script and literally start calling people, taking a little time out to just list 5 people and picking up the phone and calling, and whatever happens, but sort of just doing it. And not only that, but launching them successfully. And really, this workshop that you engage in is going to be the way that you would help a new builder launch. And then we are going to talk about continued training options, because the reality is that you can come to a 3-day workshop, you can be super inspired, but ultimately to get down and dirty and start doing the work requires you to lean into other types of training and resources. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do so. And if anybody could just pop into the WhatsApp group and pop this into the chat or the Facebook group, that would be really helpful so people can access it now to sign up. And then just some, I'm trying to click my screen. That's so funny. Just some save the dates. These are all in-person events. And I have to tell you guys, I am crazy excited about what's coming to Hawaii. Thanks, Amanda. What's coming to Hawaii, what is coming to Maui in particular. So please take a screenshot of this for now. I know we've changed some of these, but some of them are firmed up now. I mean, I've shared these dates. Some of them have changed and some of them firmed up. So rather than doing an overnight weekend and retreat, we decided that to sort of just change with what we felt was the biggest need for the team, was to do a 1-day training event. Saturday, April 30th. This is going to be on Maui. It's going to be upcountry. Zaisha is helping to hook our team up with an awesome space to comfortably have this event. And what's really cool is it's going to be focused on leadership training, but in the morning part, we're kind of thinking before lunch, one of the things we wanted to do was to model an essential oil 101 class. Well, then with this space that Zaisha is able to offer us, we kind of said, well, why don't we just offer it as an actual class? Everybody can invite potential customers. They can come. We'll teach the class as a way to model how to teach an EO 101. And then if those potential customers are motivated or interested, they can stay for the business portion. The business portions, we have several different things in mind. We haven't hammered out the agenda. I know we want to talk a little bit about Aroma Touch and how to use this for your business. I think Amanda was gonna work with, which I didn't talk to. I talked to Amanda about it. Finally, I talked to Amanda about something before just dropping it on her. But my mom, and I think there was somebody else that I think John's going through the training right now for Aroma Touch. We do want to talk about definitely redirected spending, how to increase LRPs, that kind of thing. So we have some different things on the agenda are going for the leadership training, but we'll give more detailed agenda next week because this is actually coming up rather fast. And I think we're going to have some way to have people RSVP both for the EO 101 and the business one, mostly because we do want to provide some snacks and possibly lunch and refreshments as well. So if you could kind of please save the date, and this will probably run from mid-morning until the evening. So if you could just go ahead and save the date for that. And even if there are only some portions that you can come to, we would love to have you there for as much or as little as you can. But we'll take you all we can get. All right, here are some doTERRA is doing an entire week of events in Hawaii, and I can't give too many details yet because it's not firmed up, but I will tell you that Malama Hawaii, a week of service, is happening. The first kickoff event is on Saturday, May 14th. Oop, that's the wrong little squiggly line on top of the O there. That is a doTERRA corporate event on Oahu. For all the Silver Plus leaders on this call, you should have gotten an email letting you know about a meeting that's happening on Friday on Zoom. It is a good idea for you to be there if you can, because it will give you the opportunity to be able to attend, be one of the first people to register and attend this event. There is only 150 spots available. So they're opening it up to diamond and above leaders first, and each registrant can bring one guest, and then they're going to open it up to silver leaders. This is going to be a training with Dr. Hill. And I have to tell you guys, I don't know that we've had an owner from doTERRA come since 2014 when Emily Wright did her tour in Hawaii. So it has been a good 6, 7, 8 years since we've had a doTERRA owner here. And Dr. Hill is going to be here for this entire week, Malama Hawaii week in Hawaii. And so this is a really, their premise, this is from 3 to 7 p.m. on the 14th. And their premise is that if they pour into us as leaders and empower us as leaders, we will be able to move forward and empower others. So if you're not yet a silver and above leader and you're interested in going, contact your nearest silver and above leader to see if they have a guest to take and if they're planning on going. Okay, this, you guys, Tuesday, May 17th, can I just like beg everyone? So the themes for each of the days, Monday, May 16th is Malama Keiki. So they're doing service projects at Klema schools on Oahu, and Holena Pua service project, which is like a shelter for and a recovery center for victims of sex trafficking. Okay, so Tuesday is Malamakai, tending to our ocean. So this is a day where various service projects to help care for our beaches and coastlines is going to happen. And on this day, the Essential Island Living team will be hosting a Malamakai service event, and it will be during the day. So I know a lot of people work, but if there's any way that you could take off work that day, that would be great, because, and not just because we want to give back, but also because Dr. Hill will probably be on Maui, possibly be available to have a lunch with our community, and also offer a training with him on Maui for our community. So I don't know if I can explain the magnitude of one of the owners, not just one, but the beloved Dr. Hill, being available on this day to our community. Now, of course, I want to extend it to the other teams on Maui, but ultimately this day has been kind of earmarked for us to get time with him and training with him directly. And he will talk about aroma touch and more, I think, versus the training, because the evening event, we are going to ask that you bring your own oils, your own aroma touch oils to that event. And he's going to delve into a little bit deeper about the why behind the aroma touch technique period and the oils. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is still in flux. So, I mean, this is the plan. So save the date, just because if it does happen, which I should know within like the next 2 weeks. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm so excited about the possibility. And if there's any way that knowing now to clear up your calendar for this day helps, I just feel like everyone will want to take advantage of this if possible. And then on Wednesday, it continues with Malama Aina tending to our land. So they're doing a service project on the Big Island that day, with a halal, and again at the on Oahu at the recovery center. Thursday is Malama Ohana, caring for our family, and this is just a day to share your aloha with your ohana in your own unique way. And they also talked about trying to get encouraging families to do service projects as a family, anything big or small. Friday, May 20th is Malama Pono, caring for yourself. If you want to take care of the world, start with taking care of yourself. And then Saturday, May 21st, which is listed here, is Malama Hawaii, caring for Hawaii, celebrating and honoring Earth's gifts. And this is the day we're going to celebrate Oahu's product center grand opening. There will be tours, booths, giveaways, food trucks, etc. So just super exciting stuff happening for Hawaii. And I just love and appreciate that doTERRA really recognizes us as a market, and also is, I mean, Jake Reese, who is our market development manager, just also really wants to offer something for our community here on Maui. So just really exciting. Oh, graduation weekend. Ouch. Well, you know. Okay, so any questions about any of these at all? Okay, there is a beautiful graphic for the whole Malama Hawaii week, but they are not releasing it yet until more things are nailed down. So and again, I feel like I'm really excited about May 17th. And for sure, the Malama Aina service event is happening during the daytime. So as many people as possible that can come would be great. The training with Dr. Hill is a possibility. So I'm just manifesting it. Okay. All right. There will be, and I'm not sure for what exactly, Bernice. We will have an RSVP for Saturday, April 30th. And then Saturday, May 14th, there is a registration link that's going to come directly from corporate. For Tuesday, May 17th, I don't think I'm going to do an RSVP for the Malama Aina service event. I'm just going to blast it out and hope everybody blasts it to their people. And then really this is open to anyone and everyone who wants to come and volunteer. The training with Dr. Hill, if that does happen, then I will definitely do some sort of RSVP for there, because we can only technically take so many people. And then the grand opening for the storefront also has its own RSVP, but that's going to come straight from corporate. And I think they just want to kind of get an idea of how many people to expect at that event. All right. So keep clicking on my screen like a Lolo. Oh, okay. So I don't know. Kate, can you maybe refresh? Because Jai, I think, added some slides in. Jai, is it on here if Auntie Kate refreshes?
There it is.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm just looking at my calendar because I really don't know when this event is. I think it's next week. Anyways, click. Thanks. We're going to have Spring into Wellness. So we did, what was it called? Share the Love or something like that. In February. So it's going to be the same thing as that. We were supposed to do this last month, but BOGO's hit. So we're going to do this month. Spring into Wellness. We're going to focus on the same products. It's going to run the same as how it always does, just like a wellness week. So you're just going to invite using the flyer that I have on the screen. I'll drop it in on the WhatsApp chat and Facebook group. You can send them the chat link once they say yes. Participate in the chat daily from 4 to 6. Sorry, there's no after party. I think we decided for these, we don't want after parties for customer events. And then you just follow up with them, and then you would get them on like an LRP or something. All right, next. So these are the products. So we're just gonna focus on abode cleaning, shampoo, conditioner, and hair care, toothpaste and mouthwash, wellness kits, skincare, and LRP. I have all the videos already. We're just gonna reuse those. And then I'm thinking, haven't thought about it yet, but it was just a thought that I would put a video about Malama in there, just to get that as well in there, because they're really great videos about Malama, and I think it would be great. You would LRP. Yeah, LRP. But I think last time I did put a LOV video in there last minute, so yeah, we did both.
Awesome. So just to clarify, this event is for our currently enrolled customers. And so a lot of people, yes, we postponed it for BOGO week, but what's so great is you guys enrolled a bunch of people for BOGO week, right? So we have a ton of new customers to the community that we want to educate on products outside of our oils. So this is great to get them into. I think, Jai, moving forward, we do want to maybe add LLB as like a regular. And I love your idea of just popping in some videos of Malama as well. And then just a reminder, the chat is open, Jai. Is it from 4 to 6?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 to 6, we just ask that you try to engage, and especially if you get people into that group. In the chat, and make it an experience. So I know that this starts on Monday, but honestly, just start inviting your customers tomorrow, as many as you can, and get them into there. Maybe start with your most recent customers that aren't on LRP. I know for myself, I have many personal enrollments, so I have to sort of prioritize my personal connections, but definitely go in and get as many current customers as you can into this group to learn more. Anybody else want to say anything about this event?
I just want to say thank you so much for offering this, because it really is another way for us to get our customers more education and be a little bit more involved with their wellness. So, and giving us opportunities to have them, be part of that too. So thank you.
Yeah, and that is, you guys, really truly the Vielas. They have really made it a commitment to reach their customers in as many possible ways, and they've done an incredible job of getting a lot of their customers like on LLV and other of these, seeing how they can redirect their spending. So Jai and Miley do all of the work behind this, the video organization. Jai will ask his aunties to start the chat sometimes because he's busy being a teenager, so he's forgiven for that, I suppose. No, I'm teasing. But yeah, thanks, John, for giving them a shout out, because it's it's things like this that make the group stronger and better. And so we all owe the Viela's gratitude for offering this to the entire community. And so we're going to, I think the decision was to toggle between a customer event, and then next month will be a wellness week that will be focused on getting new customers. Are there any more slides after this, JJ?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's it. All right, you guys. So look at that. Doing pretty good on time. Really excited about all of the things to come. Rounding out this month, please, as much as possible, if you can make that visionary leaders launch day training, because then you can feel more confident in going out and recruiting and launching new builders. The April 30th, I know there's a lot right now, but we want to continue to capitalize on momentum. And then that Malama Hawaii week, I think, is just going to be so special. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. So let's go ahead and turn on our cameras real quick. Take a quick team pic. I gotta clean my camera. This thing is gnarly. All right. Go ahead and smile. Oh, Jen, you got your cat in there right in the nick of time. I love it. Okay, as usual, thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your community, for your learning, for your businesses, for your growth, for your connection. We are so grateful for you. We're so excited for the future and what it holds. So start talking to people about the oils, start layering it into your life, start being unafraid, talking to myself, and start talking to people about the business opportunity, because I think we're moving in a direction of having a lot more to offer in terms of support in that area. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.